Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at 7 cases for the iPhone X. So we're continuing this series of preview of accessories that are available today for the iPhone X. Again, just like you, I like having a case when I get my phone, either through the mail or I walk into the store. They're much more affordable, especially when you get them online. So Ringke has provided us with these 7 cases that we're going to look at. And these 7 cases, some of them have military drop protection, some of them don't. But all of them are going to be a good addition to your iPhone X. If you're like me also, I actually have multiple cases, regardless of the fact that I review cases and accessories. Prior to that, I would have multiple cases on my phone. Kind of swap them out like if it was shoes, depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing, I switch out the case. So I'd encourage you to take a look at all these cases and see which one suits you, and if you want to get an extra one because of casual versus business or whatever may be the situation, you'll want to check them out. So first up is the Flow New. This has an interesting design to it. This is a 100% TPU case, but I will tell you, just by touching the sides, the TPU material on the sides has some extra material that's going to protect your corners. So I don't feel really a lot of give here, as you can see there. It does have the buttons here on the side, and on this side the new Siri button, if you want to call it that, is there. You also have in this area here your cutout. Everything seems pretty generous, and you'll notice how thick that material is. Let's get a little bit closer. You can see that this is no joke. This is very thick material, and you have a lot of camera protection going on there. You do have a nice cutout area here. This cutout is really going to give access to everything. Nice, good protection, and again, very flexible, kind of like a smoke color. This one is actually called the Flow New Smoke Black. Now next up is the Air Prism. Now the Air Prism is just like the other case that we just looked at. It's a TPU material, but even though it's flexible this way, I always check the corners to see how durable they are and do they cave in easily. So you have some really nice material going on there. It does have a unique pattern, and it's rose, so if you're looking at a color other than black for your iPhone, this is going to be really nice. And I like that kind of diamond texture that shows up here. Again, going to be good protection. Everything is cut out, are all there, and the material is pretty thick. You can see how much material you have here by the lens, by the depth right there. So this is going to give you some good protection as well. Now next up is the Flex S, and this is in blue, and it's made out of 2 materials. It has kind of a leathery feel to one part, and then it has kind of like the brushed aluminum look to the other, but it is a flexible case. It doesn't separate, so it's one piece, but the way they did this is pretty cool. Has kind of like this feel in the back, feels good in the hand. Also, it's flexible, but not as flexible as the other cases that we just saw. Sides are pretty robust, and you can see how much rubberized material there is there. Good, healthy cutouts on the bottom. In the back, everything looks good, and then you have the Ringke logo. The buttons are there and accessible. Volume rocker. And, it feels really great. I don't know what kind of material this is, but it's definitely cool looking and feels great. Over here, you'll see the thickness by the camera, so you get some good thickness as well. Now this is the Wave, and this is very similar to the one that we just saw, except the material on the back is a little bit different. This is a 2-part case, so you'll notice it has like polycarbonate on one side, and then it has that thick TPU on the other. You can see the thickness of the material right there, so it's pretty thick. Again, this one, while it's flexible with this polycarbonate frame, it has less flexibility, which is going to give you more protection for that glass back. You'll notice that the thickness here, and this is something that we've been seeing with all the Ringke cases, there's a lot of material that's coming in here that's going to give you a lot of protection. You do have, again, very difficult to crush the sides. I like doing the side test because typically when you drop your phone, it's going to hit on the side, so how much it can sustain impact is important to me. Cutouts, as you can see right there, camera cutout as well, and it's thick. You do have the buttons here, and they're rubberized, and they will be very tactile when it comes to selecting things. So again, this is the Wave. So next up here is the Wave. I kind of flipped it over because I just was mesmerized by the colors that are here that are going on. So notice how this looks. This looks pretty cool. Now, the other cases that we looked at didn't have a military drop certification. This case does. And the next, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 cases that we're going to look at all have military drop certification. And you can see that right there. Right, so that's great that they've been doing that kind of testing with these. Now this one is a TPU material, flexible as you can see here. You can remove this, right? So I can remove this out of the way, and you'll notice this is the kind of pattern that you're going to have. But I don't know if this is intended to stay in the case or not, but I kind of dig it. And let me know if you dig this one too. I like the way that looks in the back, especially with that on. You may get a similar effect if you do this with your iPhone inside of it. We'll see, but I'm going to leave it here, and once we get the iPhone in, we're going to definitely test this. So again, good protection on the sides, as you can see there. Nice generous cutouts. You know, your buttons are exposed, are pretty high, so you can press that. They're very tactile. And then also you have, as you can see there, your camera. You have some nice camera protection as well. So this is another military drop certified case. This is also very surprising to me because look at this, it's really flexible. Now I think that they may be getting the certification based on the thickness of the material. So I am noticing that I've reviewed a lot of I would say TPU type material cases, and some of them are rather thin. This one seems to be a lot thicker, and you can see it based on the material that you see here. You can see how thick this is, and plus this is also popping up a little bit, but it does feel like it's a thicker material. So squeezing the sides, doing that squeeze test on the sides, you know, it does give in a little bit, but it does require some force there. You'll notice that all the cutouts are also pretty nice and generous. You have the same tactile buttons on each side. Not a bad, if you're looking for something that's going to be clear and still has that military drop protection, it's definitely something to consider. Now, one of the things I also mentioned, because I always get this, I always get feedback on, will it yellow with time? I have not experienced that. I know Ringke is really good when it comes to customer service, so if you do have or experience any problems with it, I would contact them directly if you've had that in the past, but I haven't had any cases go yellow on me. So transparent, it's going to show off the Apple logo, show off your color, and it's going to give you that military drop protection. So this is the Onyx. This is also flexible material, but again, very thick. Squeeze test on the sides. This one is going to require really hard squeeze to get it to bend. So this is good. Thick material all the way around. I really like this one. It has a brushed aluminum type of look in the back, even though it is not aluminum. Has that texture feeling here on the bottom, almost a carbon fiber look. Carbon fiber look with a brushed aluminum look. Pretty hot. Here you see the controls. Everything is nicely accessible. You see the bottom is well done. You can see the thickness of the material right there when you look at that opening and how much material is there for your camera. Nice case. Really like this one too. So this concludes my review of these 7 cases for the iPhone 10. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comment area below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.